Oh hey, I have a little story to tell you guys today about toilet plungers. Or more specifically, some challenges I faced recently when attempting to purchase a toilet plunger in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, I was in Brazil for a few weeks, and I woke up one morning to do my regular business, only to find that the toilet was somehow blocked from the night before. Unfortunately, there was no toilet plunger in this particular bathroom. I considered doing the thing where you boil a pot of water and add some dishwashing liquid, but that's a lot of effort, and let's face it, it doesn't actually work, despite what all the unclog your toilet tutorials tell you. So I decided instead to just go out and buy a plunger. I ventured downstairs to a nearby homeware shop called Casa e Video, and they had a whole aisle dedicated to toilets. They had toilet seats, toilet brushes, toilet cleaning liquid, toilet paper holders, air fresheners, you name it. They had everything you could possibly need for a toilet, except for a toilet plunger. So I left Casa e Video, and I went instead to a grocery store a little further away called Mondial. And hey, I was in luck. They had a whole bunch of toilet plungers, all different colors, different designs, and very conveniently located right by the entrance to the store. I had some other shopping to do, so I spent half an hour loading a cart with groceries, in addition to my trusted plunger, and I went to the checkout. I loaded the goods onto the conveyor belt, the cashier scanned everything, and then it came time to pay. I took out my credit card, which I must add I had used 2 or 3 times already at this exact grocery store over the past days. But the lady shook her head and said something which I didn't fully understand, although I picked up "não credito," no credit. Now, I only know extremely basic Portuguese, and it becomes very stressful for me in cases where I don't have the conversational vocabulary, so I panicked a bit, and I asked, "Débito? Do you take debit card?" She said yes, so I whipped out my Canadian debit card and put it in the machine, hoping it was going to work. But the moment she realized it was a foreign card, she snatched that card machine away from me and looked at me like I was an idiot. So I'm there on Google Translate trying to type in a question, and she's picked up a pen and written something on a plastic bag. I had no idea what she's talking about, and finally she goes like this, "Dinero, dinero." And I realized she can only take cash. But I'd run out of cash the day before, and Brazil works in a way that there's only a single ATM in the neighborhood that takes foreign cards, which is in a shopping mall, which doesn't open for another 2 hours. So I'm screwed. The supervisor comes over to check what's going on and literally starts taking the groceries out of my backpack to return them to the shelf. I ask her the question that I've typed. "Você realmente só aceita dinheiro? Não é cartão de crédito?" She looks at me very rudely and just says, "No." And then she shoos me away like this. "Get out of here, you stupid gringo." It was very embarrassing. Not only do I still not have a toilet plunger, but I just wasted all that time shopping for the groceries. I texted my girlfriend to let her know what happened and that I was going to come home empty-handed. By this stage, it had started to rain. I was stressed. I didn't have an umbrella. And let's face it, I still needed to shit. I thought I'd try my luck at one more grocery store, Zona Sul, a little further up the road. I get to Zona Sul. Thank Christ I found a toilet plunger. I collect the same groceries I'd already gathered at the previous store, and again I go to the cashier to pay. He starts to scan my goods, toilet plunger first, milk second, cheese third, bananas fourth. Then he looks at the screen, and he's a bit confused, and he asks to see the toilet plunger again. I hand it back, and he scans it one more time, and then scans it again, and at this point I realize there's a problem with the goddamn price, or the barcode, or something. He calls the supervisor, who takes the toilet plunger, waltzes on down to the back of the store, presumably to do a price check, while the guy finishes scanning the rest of my stuff. The cashier and I wait there in very awkward silence for about 5 minutes. And meanwhile, there's a lineup of people behind me who are waiting to be served, and they're just looking at me like, "What are you doing, bro?" My girlfriend texts me back. Bless her heart. She's coming to the store to meet me with an umbrella. The supervisor returns and confirms there's a problem, but I still have no clue what's going on. She directs another staff member to open the second register, so at least now the 7 people waiting in the queue behind me can be served. Then she goes to a supervisor's desk with the plunger and gets onto the phone. And she's literally on the phone having an in-depth conversation with someone about this stupid toilet plunger. She hangs up, casually gallivants back into the store to check once again. And look, if you don't believe me, I even took a photo of the supervisor's desk with the goddamn plunger sitting on it right there. Finally, she returns. But I see the look on her face, and I know exactly what she's about to say, even though I don't understand the language. "We can't sell it to you. Too bad." And that's it. She walks away. I was so close to my toilet plunger. I held it in my hands. On 2 occasions, I held a toilet plunger in my hands, and on 2 occasions, my toilet plunger was taken away from me. I'm flabbergasted. Absolutely flabbergasted. Why can't I buy a toilet plunger anywhere in this city? Am I really asking too much? In one final, desperate attempt to get my hands onto that piece of plumbing goodness, I open up Google Translate and I type in, "But I need to shit." And I show the guy, "Mas eu preciso cagar." It's no use. There's nothing they can do. I was able to pay for the rest of my groceries on the credit card, and I waited at the front of my store for my girlfriend to arrive. When she does, I unload the events of the morning onto her, and I ask her to talk to them and find out what the hell needs to be done to buy this freaking plunger. At that stage, I'll pay double, I'll pay triple, I don't care. Turns out the reason they couldn't sell it to me was because it was the final unit they have in stock, and apparently it's a policy in many shops in Brazil to never sell the final unit of an item. The mind boggles. By this stage, I'm busting. My girlfriend and I returned to shop number two, Mundial, who had the multitude of plungers in stock, and she was able to purchase one using her debit card. We get home, I unblock the toilets, and you don't need to know anymore, but that, my friends, is the story of my incredibly dramatic experience of trying to buy a toilet plunger in Brazil. I went through a lot of shit that day. Literally. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. And also, it's quite relevant to mention here, but I have another YouTube channel called Toilography, where I post videos of interesting toilets I see along my travels. It's a fun little hobby of mine that started on Instagram many, many years ago. So if you feel that way inclined, I'd love if you could check it out. Thank you guys, and stay tuned. Maybe I'll tell a few more stories like this in some upcoming videos. Ciao.